Welcome, my friend. Thanks so much for joining me for this beginner yoga series. In today's video, I'm going to guide you through some heart-opening poses. So essentially, we are going to be working some beginner-friendly back bends. Now, it's important to learn some good heart openers because these poses are extremely beneficial for relieving pain and tightness in the chest, the upper back, the neck, and shoulders. So these are poses that are therapeutic for your body, helping to relieve that tightness and tension while also building the muscles that you need to have healthy posture. So go ahead and like this video, leave your comments and questions below, and subscribe to the channel. And when you're all set, go ahead and roll out your mat. And let's get ready to explore these beginner-friendly heart-opening poses. We are going to start our practice in tabletop, just coming to your hands and knees. Then we'll just move a little cat and cow to begin warming up your spine. So as you inhale your breath, lift your heart and lift your tail for our cow pose. And as you exhale your breath, curl it all in, lifting from your belly button. Tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, and actively press your spine to the sky. Then on your next inhale, we come forward again. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your tail, stretch your tummy. Then exhale, rounding through your spine, curling your belly in. Press your spine up to the sky for that cat pose. And let's take one more round. A nice big full breath in, expanding all the way to the top of your pose. Then exhale, pressing all the air out as you compress your front body. And then let's slowly come back to neutral, coming back to that nice tabletop position, starting to feel a little bit of warmth, some movement in the spine. Now we are going to practice one of my favorite poses. It's called puppy pose. And in this pose, we're going to walk your hands forward towards the front edge of your mat. Now you want to keep your hips aligned over your knees as you stretch your arms out in front of you. And softly begin to let your heart relax down towards the floor. So this is when we start to really stretch into the shoulders and into the chest, which is going to be important. We need to open that up so we can move into those big heart openers. Now, this is not a traditional yoga pose in the traditional yoga vocabulary, but it has been adapted quite widely, and I find it to be a really effective heart-opening stretch that is approachable at any level. So take a couple more deep breaths here as you allow yourself to really feel into that stretch. See how much you can let go and soften and allow that opening in your shoulders. And when you're ready, you can gently walk your hands back and sit your hips down to your heels, just coming into a nice, easy child's pose. So for this child's pose, I recommend bringing your knees a little closer together so that you are really folding forward over your legs, giving you a little extra stretch down the length of your spine. Take some deep breaths into your back body so you feel your back stretch as you take that full inhale. And feel that softening and release as you exhale. Now from here, we're going to slide on forward to your belly. coming down onto your tummy here. Now, in our last practice, we talked a little bit about Cobra Pose, but today we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that Cobra Pose to help you really get those muscle activations that are going to help you get that therapeutic benefit from that Cobra Pose, okay? So coming onto your tummy, you're going to turn the tops of your feet to the floor. I'm going to be showing you a variation of Cobra Pose that's really going to awaken those muscle groups for you. But we're going to start with just our basic Cobra Pose, right? Just to feel it out and warm it up. So bring your hands alongside your chest with your fingertips spread nice and wide. Remember, we want to press down through the index finger as you turn your elbows up towards the sky. Now, the first thing we want to do is lift your shoulders up towards the sky. So we squeeze your shoulder blades together and draw the tips of your shoulder blades down towards your hips. Try to lengthen through the back of your neck as you inhale and gently lift your heart. Right? So you don't have to come too high. Don't have to lift too big. Just feeling the muscles in your upper back. And take a little mental snapshot here. Feeling into the pose. Just notice what you feel. Then we'll slowly release. Coming back down onto your mat. Okay? Shake out your hips a little bit, right? We remember that Cobra Pose, feeling pretty good. If you really get the muscles working, you should start to feel some warmth there. Now, for this ridge top variation, we're going to walk your hands off the edges of your mat. So you're going to keep the same latitude. You're just going to go a little bit wide. Then pop up onto your fingertips, lifting the palms of your hands away from the floor. You've got like Spider-Man hands. Now point your elbows up towards the sky. And this is our preparation. Now we start the same way, hugging your shoulder blades up towards the sky and down towards your hips. So we roll the shoulders down and back. Try to lengthen through the back of your neck as you inhale and begin to curl your heart up. Right, so now we're really feeling the strength of the back here. Now begin to press again through that index finger, pressing down and forward. See if you can lift yourself up a little higher. Then here's the next activation. Drag your rib cage forward, lengthening the sides of your waist. So we reach the ribs towards the front of your mat. Then again, roll your shoulder blades back and down. Press into the index finger, curling yourself up. Find your biggest lift. It doesn't have to be as big as me, but just find your edge. Rolling those shoulders back, dragging your heart and chest forward. Beautiful work, my friends. Let's let it go. Gently curling yourself down to the mat. Stack one hand on top of the other as you gently relax your forehead onto your hands. Rock your hips side to side and breathe into your back body. So let yourself relax a little bit here. And just notice what you were feeling in that pose, right? Really, really starting to awaken those muscle groups. This is why they say in yoga you feel sore in places you didn't know you had, because we're activating muscles that are most usually asleep. So even though it can feel challenging, feel good about yourself because you are awakening your body. It's a beautiful thing. Now, before we move on, let's come back to our Cobra Pose, just so you can feel the difference after working that ridge top Cobra, okay? So coming back to the beginning, tops of the feet pressing down into your mat as you spread your fingers wide and press down through that index finger. Hugging your elbows to the sky, we gently lift your shoulder blades and draw the tips of the shoulder blades down your back. On a big inhale, begin to curl yourself up, rolling the shoulders down. Remember that feeling of dragging your rib cage forward, lengthening your heart towards the front as you curl yourself up. Notice how it feels. Is it any different? Does it feel any stronger or more tuned in? Good work. Gently release. And let's come on back to that child's pose. Again, you can bring your knees a little bit closer together here. So you fold your body down over your legs. I encourage you to extend your elbows, reaching your arms as straight out in front of you as it feels comfortable, because that really allows you to stretch into the shoulders as well, which are definitely a part of these heart openers, right? Working the shoulder blades, working the whole back. Beautiful. At the end of your exhale, you're going to slowly walk your hands in towards your knees. And press yourself up here. We're going to go ahead and lift up onto your knees, coming into Camel Pose. So this is a more freestanding heart opener, and I want to give you a couple of options for how we're going to get into this pose. Now, first things first, I recommend that you curl your toes underneath you, because that automatically awakens the muscles around your lower leg. So it's bringing more stability into your pose. Then aligning your hips over your knees, go ahead and bring your hands onto your hips. So for this pose, the concepts are very similar, right? This is what we're learning in our beginner series. We build it one practice at a time, right? So the idea, the concepts are the same. So for our Camel Pose, we're going to start with your hands on your hips and guide your elbows back to the space behind you, right? So we hug the elbows together behind your back. Lift and lengthen out of your spine, hugging your belly up and in. Now, just like in our Cobra Pose, we're going to draw the shoulder blades back and down towards your hips. Then you'll slowly begin to curl your heart up towards the sky. And we're in variation 1, like phase 1 of Camel Pose. Beautiful work. Go ahead and come on back. Now, if you want to get a more strength in the pose or give yourself another little challenge, we can do it hands-free by bringing your hands together at your heart, a prayer pose. So for this, we won't hug the elbows back, but the work in the shoulders is the same. So you can try it with me like this, or just come back to hands on the hips. As you inhale your breath, we're going to start with an inhale and just lift up, finding length. Then as you exhale, we can just hug the shoulders together and down your back. And slowly begin to curl your heart open as you pull the shoulder blades down, down, down. Curling your heart open here. We have variation 2, hands to heart. Shoulders roll back as the heart and chest lifts and reaches up to the sky. Good, then slowly come on back to center. And I'll give you option number 3. We can all play with this together. If you want to bring one hand to your heel, then take that free hand, extend it out overhead, then slowly begin to roll your heart open. But notice what happens in the shoulder. Sometimes the shoulder wants to come forward because there's a lot of mobility in your shoulder. But I want you to keep the shoulder back. So we tuck the shoulder blade down and back. Then start to roll your heart open from there. You feel the difference. can reach that free arm up and back and just feel your chest stretch. So good. Nice. Then we'll slowly release, just come back to the side and gently come back up to center. Then we'll go the other way. Free hand or opposite hand, come down to that heel, stabilize through your lower leg. Then from here, tack that shoulder back, hugging your shoulder blade onto your back. Stabilize the shoulder as you gently roll your heart open, reaching your free arm up and back. Breathe into the stretch. Keep hugging the shoulder blades together. Just go shoulder blades together, shoulder blades together, shoulder blades together. Great. Then slowly release. Nice and easy. So that's a great exercise that you can do working your way towards this full variation of Cobra, of Camel. So we're gonna go one more round and you can practice the variation you want. Either hands on the hips or hands to the heart, or we can work towards this full expression together, okay? So for those of you that are doing level 3 with me, you can follow along. Everyone else, find your variation and let's rock the pose. Inhale and lift your spine, extending up through the crown of your head, nice and strong. Then roll your shoulder blades down and back. Then slowly begin to peel your heart open, really working from the shoulder blades. This is not in the low back. This is the upper back, curling open. Then for those of you going all the way, we're gonna reach both hands down to the heels. Then again, think shoulder blades together as you lift your rib cage up towards the sky. So the principles are the same. We're just changing our relationship to gravity. Lift and lengthen. And we'll slowly release. Go easy on yourself as you come out of this big pose. Then let's come on back to our child's pose, relaxing through the spine. Take those big, easy breaths. Let it be effortless. Let it be soothing. And don't worry if these poses feel challenging in the beginning, because again, we're awakening muscles that are not used to being activated. So if it takes some time, just be gentle with yourself and enjoy the process. Now I've got one more pose for you to round out our practice today. Go ahead and come back onto your belly. So our big finale for today is going to be bow pose. So this is a really powerful back bend, full spinal activation. And it's great because you are supporting yourself. There's some leverage involved. So it's a really full body, wonderful pose. Now, just like the others, we're gonna have a little bit of a warm up to help you get your body ready. So I'm gonna have you prop yourself up onto your forearms. Then just pick whichever side you're gonna do first and bring that, we're gonna bring an elbow in front of you to support your weight. Now, I'm gonna work my right leg, so I'm reaching back with my right hand to grab to the inside of my foot. Don't flip your arm all weird. Just open your thumb to the sky, grab to the inner part of your foot. Right. Now, from here, just pull your heel down towards your hip. We're gonna start with a little quad stretch. Haven't really done a lot of lower body today, so I'm gonna at least give the thigh a little bit of a stretch here. And then start to kick your foot into your hand. Kick so it reaches your arm straight. Then kick so hard that you actually start to feel your chest open, your shoulder rolling back, and you're getting a stretch down the length of your arm. So kicking with the leg is super strong. Kick and stretch your heart open for 3, 2, 1, and release. And we'll Oh, feels good. You can pull your heel back in. Shake out that leg and we'll get ready for the other side. So bringing your other forearm down, bending that opposite knee, reach back with your hand to grab the inside of your foot. Then we'll start with a little quad stretch, pressing your heel to your hip. Nice little stretch here for 3, 2, 1. And let's kick it back, extending through your arm, kick through your foot, so much so that it starts to pull your shoulder open. Yeah, really getting into that chest, muscles in your arms. Good, then we'll slowly release that. If you want to give it another little stretch here, you can. Shake out that leg. All right, now we're gonna do both feet, but here's the difference. You're gonna pull both heels in towards your hip. This time, you're gonna turn your thumb down and reach to the outside of your foot. Again, if you want, you can start with that heel to hip quad stretch. Just kind of a nice way to open up, and also a little stretch into the knees, which feels good. Then the same concept, we're gonna kick back with the feet, but notice what happens in the shoulders. Kicking back with your feet, we roll the shoulders up and back, hugging the shoulder blades together. And you see, that's what creates the lift in my chest, is actually kicking through my legs so strong that it's rolling the shoulders back and lifting me from the floor. Now, if you want to get even deeper in the pose, you can begin to kick your toes up towards the sky, but keep kicking back through the hands, peeling the chest open, hugging the shoulder blades together, and we find a really big, juicy back bend. Slowly release wherever you are. And again, you can bring one hand on top of the other. Let your forehead relax onto your hands. And just rock your hips side to side a little bit. Then when you're ready, let's press back to that child's pose one more time here. Relaxing your hips to your heels. Breathing into your back body. Take those big, easy breaths. And slowly walk your hands into your knees. And gently unroll your spine, just pressing yourself up to kneeling. And you can just make your way into a nice, easy seat. Notice how you feel. Definitely feeling some things awaken and energize through your upper back, chest, shoulders, and I guarantee you are going to feel it tomorrow too. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm so glad that you could be here for this beginner series, and I hope that you will stay tuned, because in our next practice, I'm going to guide you through some really popular hip openers, which of course are also beneficial for relieving pain. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. You can check me out at my website, jenhilman.com, and all my social media at Jen Hilman. See you next time. Namaste.